Hey, what's up? It's your boy Doerilla checking in from Jackson, Tennessee, all the way down here in Atlanta, industry's most wanted with my homegirl TampaMystic. Let's get it.
We be getting high, just trying to maintain. She got a man, I got a bitch, we on the same thing. No, I pull up with that shit, but it's plain Jane. We be like fuck business, we on the same thing. We be getting high, just trying to maintain. She got a man, I got a bitch, we on the same thing.
Hey, what's going on, man? It is your girl, TampaMystic, and we are live. Big Doerilla. Where we at?
Industries.
Okay.
Big Industries most wanted, not a little one. Listen, I got my family checking in. This is somebody that I just have so much respect for. For you guys that don't know, he was my co-host for a very long time on Industries Most Wanted. Doerilla in the building. What's going on?
Man, nothing much. You know what I'm saying? It's a little rainy and gloomy out there today, but hey, we ain't gonna complain.
That don't stop our shine.
Exactly. It ain't gonna stop it. Shoot.
Well, listen, it is always good to see you. Like, every time we see each other, we always catch up. We'd be talking about, you know, business stuff, personal stuff, and it's just like, that's what real friends do.
Exactly.
Good to see you, man.
Great to see you.
You do a lot of different things, though, not just in the music industry, even outside of the music industry. Kind of give us an introduction or run through of what you do.
Man, you know, like I also do automotive. You know what I'm saying? Do engine repair, engine performance. That's like my first thing I do. Then, you know, like I do a lot of the engineering, production, stuff like that on the side. So, you know, that's about it.
Okay. Well, I want to, before we jump into music stuff, I do want to talk about what you do, you know, with your day job.
Yeah.
You know, you said you work in the automotive field, and I feel like with what you do, it's one of those jobs that's never going to go away.
Yeah.
It's a trade almost per se, you know, certain things, HVAC, plumbing, mechanics, etc. What got you into that?
Man, I guess like first of all, like when I went on a vacation from the world. That's what we're gonna call it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like when I came home, I was like, okay, I ain't trying to get in the streets. I also ain't trying to work fast food or nothing like that. So I was like, okay, I like cars, you know.
Yeah.
And it was one of them things, like I was like, well, let me go to school so I can understand like all the technical parts of it. So went to school and got all that part together, and then, you know, I always had a little passion for like puzzles and stuff like that, like stuff with hands-on stuff. So doing engine repair, engine performance is more like a big puzzle. It's like at least when you get done, you get to see if it run like it needs to and stuff like that.
But like, did I put this together correctly?
Exactly. So.
But that's dope, though. Again, I feel like right now AI is such a big thing, and it's only going to get bigger. But in my opinion, there's certain jobs that AI is not going to be able to take, and yours is one of them. You're going to need a human being to do what you do, so it's a great industry for you to be in. How long have you been pursuing it?
Man, golly, it's been what? Like 15 years
It's a long time.
Yeah.
You're invested. I love that.
It's look, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, beat up hands, you know, all this stuff.
That's the man's job. You know what I'm saying? No, that's super dope. And I'm proud of you for sticking with it and staying with it because, you know, a lot of people, they just want to become an artist and not do anything else. There's no shame in still keeping a job. You and I just had this whole conversation off camera because that's what's paying the bills.
Yeah, you got to, you know. Sure.
Definitely. So let's dive into the music scene. You've been doing music, you know, we'll say on a professional level for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
So you started when you were still in Jackson, Tennessee?
Yes.
What got you into music when you were still in Jackson?
Well, you know, like me and my cousin, we just always played around with music, you know, doing different stuff. And then people thought we were good. So it was like, you know, you just started trying to do it more consistently and stuff like that. And then it's just like, as technology changed, it made it easier to do what you needed to do. And so there we have it.
Understood.
Yeah.
Jackson is how far from Memphis?
Like 45 minutes.
So it's right there.
Yeah.
Were you inspired by the Memphis sound or some of the music artists? Give us a couple artists from Memphis that really inspired you, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, like you got to go back. Even when you take like 3-6 and the whole count, you got Skinny Pimp, Player Fly, DJ Squeaky, even Yo Gotti. Like I remember when Yo Gotti hit the scene, and it was like I said, it's like you can't do nothing but respect the grind of these people, because I was there when they was putting tapes out.
Yes.
You know, so it's like to see them where they are now, it's like, oh my God, they put a lot of work in without the internet, you know.
Let's talk about that for a little bit, because I feel like it's a topic that needs to be discussed, because I put a video out a while back talking about, as an artist, you have to grind as if social media doesn't exist.
Yes.
Would you still pursue your music career if social media didn't exist?
Yes, you have to. And that's where, like, speaking on that, I feel like people get lazy and think it's all about posting the song, and it's not. It's like you still got to get out here and go meet people, and you still got to because the social media is only going to reach certain people, but until you meet some people hands on, they ain't really checking for you like that. Even if they see an ad, they may look at it, but they might look at it like it's a bunch of spam, something like that.
Yeah.
So you still got to get out here and put the work in.
You are absolutely right, because people want to feel your energy. We're human beings, so it's like until someone meets you face to face, I think that they could be a fan, but they're not going to be that diehard fan unless they've maybe seen you in concert, got a chance to meet you at a meet and greet, or even at the gas station, whatever it may be. So you're absolutely right. How do you feel? We in 2025 now, time is just flying, right?
Yes.
How do you feel right now in 2025? How do you feel about having to do all those things, being outside, going and networking, doing performances? Like, let's keep it G.
Just to be real, I really don't want to be outside. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm with you.
I wish I could just be lazy and just be like, okay, let me just put some stuff out and hope that it goes viral and, you know, grow legs on its own. But it's like, I know that ain't going to happen. So it's like, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, let me go and start getting back out here, getting in the routine, doing what I need to do, you know, like letting people see me. Like,
absolutely. Absolutely. I feel like people nowadays, and it shouldn't be this way, but because of social media, people will judge others based upon that.
Yeah.
Well, I'll never see him nowhere. He ain't doing nothing, which all along you could be doing a ton of things behind the scenes. You're just not broadcasting it. You know what I'm saying? So you got to give people grace. They could be super working hard. You don't know what their strategy is.
Exactly.
And I love the fact that you are going to, you know, really start moving around and doing that. What decided, you know, what brought you back?
Golly. So I got a ton of music in my computer. And it's like, so you think about it, it got to the point where I stopped pursuing it so much and it started being like my hobby. Like some people play video games. I get in there and put a beat on and be like, okay, let me write something. And then it's like I sit there and listen to it so much. And I'm like, before you know it, I was like, I think I got like a good 20, 25 songs that I was like, I got to do something with this. It just can't sit here on the computer. And then I'm constantly buying equipment just to play with.
Right.
So I was just like, okay, let me just put it out. We're going to see what it do. I don't need to really make nothing else right now because I got a little catalog. So go with it.
In a perfect scenario, and what I mean by this, what would you want to be doing? Because, like, you know, you and I both agree upon, I don't like being outside that much no more. In my younger years, I did. But now at my big age, I'm like, I don't really want to be out there. In a perfect scenario, as an artist, what would you want to be doing, like, on a day-to-day and be cool and comfortable with that?
You know what? I really just want to write. Yeah. That's it. Like, I want to be behind the scenes. I want to be able to say, I produced this song. I wrote this song. And I want somebody else with the voice to be able to bring it to life and be able to say, hopefully I could get some, you know, awards from it in the background. I ain't got to personally get the award, but you know what I mean? Like, see somebody up there and they accepting a Grammy or something, I'd be like, they accepted it for a song I wrote.
Man.
You know.
Let's talk about that too, because there are people out here. One thing about life is no matter what you do, someone's always going to have something negative to say.
Yeah, all the time.
You could be doing the best. You could be on top of your game, doing everything right, and someone's still going to come along and troll and say something negative because slick, they're just miserable with themselves. With that being said, I see people shaming ghostwriters, which in my opinion, there's nothing wrong with that. When you get to a Drake level, you're so busy that you might not have time to sit down and write a song. Do you feel like that's something that a lot of people are still utilizing, but not necessarily admitting it to the world that they do have somebody writing for them?
I think so. And I think a lot of times people get it confused with, so think about it. We're in the studio. I can write the whole verse and you might be like, yo, Doe, it'll sound better if you say this right here instead of that, or deliver it like this. And now that you're helping me with critiquing what I'm doing, it becomes he has a ghostwriter. And I feel like everybody has somebody there that's helping them, you know, bring the song to life and do what they need to do. I don't look down on it because it's like it's all about making a great song. When I listen to it in the car, I don't know who wrote it.
Right.
I just know this song go hard and they saying some stuff I can relate to. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, it don't really matter, you know.
I agree with you 100%. Absolutely, because if there's a few things that I would love for people to take off my plate, and I would be cool with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to feel weird because they're doing it. You know what I'm saying? Production wise, so you also want to produce for other artists. That's something you really want to pursue as well.
So I always look at it like when you look at like Timberland and Dr. Dre, then once they get big enough to where they have people who actually play the bass or play the drums, and all they're doing is saying, "This will sound good right here. I need some keys right here, some strings right here." That's where I would want to be. I don't want to sit in there and be trying to
actually cooking it up. Yeah. So is that considered executive producing?
Yeah.
When you get to a Dr. Dre level and you're able to orchestrate it per se?
Yes.
Definitely. What do you feel like it takes to get to that level?
Man, the grind, getting the respect, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, you think about it, starting out with it, people don't respect you enough to work for you, you know? And it's like once you get established and people be like, oh, I want to work. It's an honor to work for Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
It's an honor to work for Timberland. So it's like they take pride in it. But coming up, they ain't going to be like, it's an honor to work for Doe. You know, it's like, it's probably going to be hard to get them in the studio, you know. So.
And not to mention a lot of these youngins now, because they have so many apps and programs, they feel like they can do it themselves. Yeah. When slick, they do need, a lot of y'all need to leave it to the professionals.
Yeah.
Because I'll hear songs that they'll send to me for radio rotation, for example, and it sounds, the quality is horrible. Maybe how they rapped is okay, but the quality is terrible. So I'll ask them, does this have a mix and master? Like, oh yeah, I did it myself. I'm like, I can tell.
Yeah.
Some things you got to leave to the professionals or learn how to professionally do it.
Yeah.
Because perception is everything.
Yeah, you're right. And then it's so crazy because I was just watching something on YouTube where they were talking about AI.
Yeah.
And so I know now with, I think it's, Ozone. Ozone has a thing that you put on the song and AI mixes and masters it. And it gives you a starting point, but a lot of times the starting point sounds so good.
They run with it.
Yeah. In
my opinion, this is my opinion, I feel like that's a craft that you're always going to need a human touch on, human ears. Yeah. Because AI, like you said, can give them a starting point, but I just feel like, can it really get in there and tweak your vocals the way it needs to? Because it's robotic. You need that human ear on it.
Yeah.
So I feel like, don't fall for the okie doke. Yeah. Get you a dope human being that can do that. How long have you been engineering?
Oh my God. Probably about 5 years. Yeah, probably about 5 years now.
Did you originally start doing it for yourself, like to be able to get your sound the way you wanted it?
Yes, and it was a lot of trial and error. and a lot of tutorials. And it got to the point where it was like, for me, I was like, you know what? You hear stuff at the beginning, like they say, it starts with a good mic. You got to have great, whatever you record into it. And what they say, you can't polish a turd. You know, and you learn all of this through trial and error of trying to make it work. And then you be like, okay, when you finally buy the right stuff and you be like, okay, this mic sounds good. The vocals come in sounding good. I ain't got to do nothing but barely touch it and do a little things to it. So it's just like I said, a lot of trial and error to it.
Absolutely, because there are artists who will get away with recording all their music on their phone. And I'm not knocking y'all, because maybe that is what you can afford to do at this point. Yeah. But at some point in time, you're going to have to step your game up and get on that really professional Neumann mic or whatever mic that you're using to get that crisp, sound.
Yeah.
To be able to compare to the big dogs that are out there. Don't ever think that you're going to get played next to Drake and you're recording music on your phone.
But I guess that's the thing, too, with the way the music industry is going. It's kind of like you will hear somebody's album and it sounds like they didn't put anything into it, but it's hot. It's like the hot album right now. And it's like, and I'll sit here and listen. I'll be like, okay, I know these people got more money than this. Why the mixing sound like that?
Yes.
The volume's real low or it's something like that. And it's like, So it makes artists not feel like they have to put that much into it.
That's facts.
Yeah.
And to add to that, you are absolutely right. These digital platforms like Spotify and Apple are letting it slide.
Yeah.
They are allowing you to upload your music as slick, like a rough version. It sounds like crap. And I'm like, first of all, as an artist, why would you want to put that out to the world? You know that don't sound good.
Yeah.
But then when you got these DSPs allowing to slide, the artists are like, well, shoot, if they'll let me put it up there, I'm just going to do it like that.
Mm-hmm. And they think I'm just going to throw it out there and, if such and such song went viral and took off and it didn't sound that good, mine sound just as good as his.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you think that social media obviously is a great tool when you use it the right way, but do you think social media had a lot to do with watering a lot of that stuff down?
Yes, definitely. When you think about back in the day when we were buying CDs, and it's like I seen an interview on this too. It was like it made so much sense. It was like when you made a CD back then or made an album, you had to make sure it sounded away because somebody spent $10 to $15 for your CD.
Yep.
And they had to listen to this CD and say, okay, let me go through it and see if it's something else I like on this CD. Versus now it's like the music is right there on your phone. It's like you pay a subscription for the month and you can listen to whatever you want to listen to. So it's like people, you just kind of might get discovered, may not. It don't matter if the rest of your CDs sucks.
That's facts.
Yeah, so.
What do you feel like right now is something that an artist on the rise has to do to really stand out, because there's a bazillion artists out there? What do you feel like you got to do to really stand out from the rest? You
got to work on your brand. I feel like the brand and the way knowing what you're selling to people, whether it's your image, if you're like a backpacker, whatever, you got to be consistent in what you're doing. And of course, the grind got to be there. You can't expect people to give you anything because it ain't going to happen. It don't happen until you get to the point where they feel like they're going to benefit off of giving you that,
Right. In building relationships. I say it all the time. Relationships will put you in places that money cannot.
Exactly.
Because it's not always about the money. It's about building those relationships with people, 100%. And like you said, that grind. What do you feel like is something right now that Doerilla, as a music artist, let's take everything else out of the equation, you need to work on a little bit more?
Man, the consistency. Like, it's so hard to be consistent. Like, I don't know. When I tell you, it's like you got your day-to-day life, and then you got this life, and then it's like you're trying to have a love life or something. It's just like you're trying to balance everything, and it's like something's going to lose. And then you be like, okay, I can't slack on my job. This pay all my bills.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I've been slacking on my love life. I need to do some date nights over here. And it's like, okay, well, the music kind of, but I got to get more consistent. Got to start getting more content, but at the same time, I feel like it got to make sense too,
Having that work-life balance can be difficult. But let me ask you this, being that we have to deal with not saying music industry is not real life, but I'm talking real life. Like, you got to work that job to pay the bills. You have a significant other. Do you ever get frustrated that you can't put more into your music?
Yes, all the time.
How do you handle that?
Golly. So this is a goal that I started giving myself, and I was like, okay, I have to treat it like a job. And it's like I was like, okay, well, when I get off of work, I clock in.
Yeah.
I got to clock in and say, okay, I got to be here for 4 hours a day and do that. But it's like you have to make it a priority. Because if you don't, like I said, it'll start being, okay, I'm chilling this weekend. I might get in there and mess with something,
Yeah. I feel like in life, we as human beings will absolutely make time for what's important to us.
Exactly.
Whether it's a person, a place, a thing, a business, whatever is important to us, we're going to figure out how to make time for it.
Exactly.
And it's just a matter of doing that. So even if it's just 2 hours a night, 3 nights a week, the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, boom, I'm going to dedicate these 6 hours a week to creating music or mixing a new song or whatever it is.
Exactly.
How often are you recording new music?
Oh my God. Like now, it's getting to the point now, I at least start on something. I've been doing like a 2-song a week type of deal, and it's kind of like sometimes I get in my bag, you just kind of be in the vibe and you be like, okay, I feel it.
Yeah.
Then sometimes you be like, this week, it seems like every time I step in there, it's like my I get writer's block. none of the beats sound good to me, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like I'm forcing it. I'm just gonna go watch some TV.
You never want to force that creativity.
Exactly.
100%.
And that's the part of having, I guess, like having a job that sucks, because it'd be like, I can be at work and have my earphones on, and it's like I'm hearing stuff and I get so many ideas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I wish I could put this down right now. And then it's like by the time I get off work, I don't got the same energy.
That's facts. If you can't do it in the moment, you lose that vibe, that energy. Are you writing everything you do, or do you ever get in the studio and like freestyle or punch in?
Oh, sometimes I get in that freestyle stuff. You know, a lot of times I find it easier for me to freestyle or come up with the chorus right then.
Yeah.
And then I normally write after that, write the verses, because it's, you know, it's easier once you know what you're going to be talking about and everything. But yeah, so.
When you freestyle it, do you do it with an idea or a concept in mind, or do you just literally come up with everything on a whim?
A lot of times it's all on a whim.
Wow.
So like, say for instance, if I'm listening to the track, a lot of times I'll start probably like humming with the track, and I find like my pocket or what I want to do or how I want the rhythm to go. And then once I do that, it's like I get in there and I start recording, and then it's like, okay, I like the way this road with the beat. Yeah. So now it's like, yeah, this will be hot for the chorus. So whatever I say, it needs to ride the beat like this. And then it's like, it's a whole process. And that's why I be like, during the day, sometimes you might be like, yeah, I've been in here all day, and this all I got is like a chorus and a bridge or part of the first verse, but you know, it come out good.
Absolutely. And those are the moments where you have to give yourself grace, though. Yeah. Because I've talked to many artists who said that things didn't get better for them until they lightened up on themselves a little bit. They were way too hard on themselves. They pressured themselves too much. And there's a certain limit. Like, yeah, you want to press yourself, but not too much, because then it becomes stressful, and you don't never want it to be stressful. So you have to give yourself some grace. There are going to be days where you don't get much done, but at least you did something. Yeah. That's what it is. Do you feel like moving to Atlanta has or will help you with your music versus if you stayed home in Jackson?
I think it's kind of hard to answer that question, because it's like it does and it doesn't. Like I guess like after moving here, I realized how important it is it doesn't matter where you're at as far as building your fan base, because that's what matters first, is getting that core fan base. And it's like being in Jackson, I could have got a core fan base in starting in all the small surrounding counties, and then Memphis, and moving to Nashville. That way you would have had like at least Tennessee in a pocket where you needed it. But it's like also moving made people back home take my music more serious. Yes. So it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of hand in hand, because it's like moving out here, everybody back home's like, oh, you doing it, this. And it's like, I'm doing about the same I was doing back home. It's just you look at it different now, you know. Absolutely.
People have this perception of when they don't live here, they see people in Atlanta, they swear everybody's doing something big when a lot of them are, but a lot of them are not. Yeah. It's just the fact that they're in Atlanta. Yeah. But I think Atlanta is a good place to come to really get things popping, to the point where if you do decide to, whether you go back home or move to Houston or wherever it may be, you'll be able to do that now, because now you've got some notoriety in the music business. Yes. I know I asked you this the other day off camera, but I'm going to ask you on camera. Okay. Do you think Atlanta is going to be somewhere you stay for the long term, or would you ever move back home or elsewhere?
Oh, no, I ain't going back home.
Too small?
That's over with. Yeah, it's too small. It's like, you got to think about it. Even not saying that I'm on the night scene, like on the nightlife scene all the time, but it's just the fact it's always something to do here. Yes. You know, you never know who you might meet, you know. And so even when it comes to, like you said, the networking part, it's like you could be out at a random gas station and run into somebody who can help you with certain things. And it's funny, like speaking of that, like, through my job, I meet a lot of people, like this guy, the guy that, what's his name? Jay Rich. He engineers for Offset. Yeah. He brings his car through there. And I met him in the service drive, you know, and we just talking. And he was like, well, I engineered too, this is this. And I didn't even know who he was. And then when I seen him on Instagram, I was like, oh, you know, but he was real cool. But it's like, just like that, you never know who you're going to meet just on a regular day.
Absolutely. And I think as an artist, that is extremely important. You want to put yourself in positions to meet the right people because, as I say all the time, and I said it earlier, relationships will put you in places that money cannot. There's certain rooms you can't buy your way into.
Exactly.
It's based upon the relationships you built. So if you live in a small area, it's going to be very difficult to build those relationships.
Yes.
So I totally get it and understand, most definitely. So your last project you put out was called Cold Summer.
Yeah.
Which is, if y'all haven't heard it, go listen to it. It's a phenomenal project. From beginning to end. There's no fillers, no skips, none of that on there. Do you think 2025 we can expect another project from you?
Oh, yes, definitely. So, and it's crazy you said that. It's like, mentally, I've been trying to figure out how I want to place the song. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to see if I can pull a Tampa out of retirement so we can do a listening party.
I would do that for you,
100%. Yeah. And I want to do, like, that's the thing, like, a lot of stuff that people kind of drifted away from. It's like I feel like it's needed, you know, in the game because it's like listening parties are important.
I agree. When I first moved to Atlanta, I was the listening party queen. I was doing everybody's listening parties, not to be cocky, but on some humble stuff. Like majority of the people that either lived here or coming here were booking me to host their listening party because I knew how to properly coordinate it. It was very structured. I got the DJs in the building, and it's like, people just got away from that. And I agree with you. I actually hosted a listening party last summer at Soul Asylum Studios, and I enjoyed doing it. Now it'd probably be kind of on my terms. I wouldn't let just someone random book me like they did before. It would be someone like you who I have chemistry with that I know that we could work together. So yeah, when you're ready, we're going to make it happen.
Yeah, y'all see what time it is. I'm working.
He out here getting to it. Let me ask you this. Is it something that's already like in the works? Are you currently making music with an album in mind?
Yes.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, to be honest, I really want to drop before the summer. So that's kind of what pushed me to be like, okay, I need to release this song here just to start getting some traction going to get people to start looking forward to something else, you know?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And that's what you have to do. You have to build the anticipation. Yeah. Especially because you did take a little hiatus away from it, which is nothing wrong with that. Listen, if you feel like you have to take some time away to handle life stuff, do it. Yeah. Because mental health is real. Yeah. I'm not saying you went through anything like that, but it can lead to that if we overwhelm ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Definitely. With the style of music that you're putting out, right?
Yeah.
I feel like you have somewhat of a different sound than what we're hearing a lot of, and I love that for you because that's what makes you stand out. You actually make great music.
Thank you.
From the writing process to actually how you deliver it to the engineering side, you do a phenomenal job. With that being said, what do you feel like Doerilla has to do to kind of navigate through the music industry right now to make yourself stand out from the rest, because there's so much music coming out every single day?
Golly, that's the hard part. That's why. And so I guess it goes back to, you know, going back to some of the basic promotion tools, you know, that people kind of drift away from. It's like, even, I guess, so many ideas that I don't see people do anymore that I think about that were effective when I first moved here. And I was like, people don't do street teams like that anymore. They don't do this, but you forget. Like at this moment, you think about people don't see it anymore. So it's like to hit them with something like that, it'll be like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I could not agree more, because you and I came in this business in a totally different era. Yeah. Like you said, there's a lot of stuff that people were doing that they're not doing anymore that I feel like they got to get back to the basics on. Doing listening parties, street teams, putting out flyers, putting stickers up, putting posters up. What is it going to hurt?
Yeah,
you never know who may see it, whatever. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. I think social media has, again, a lot to do with that. It's made a lot of these artists lazy.
Yeah.
All they want to do is post on TikTok and Instagram and call it a day. Are you on TikTok?
I am. Golly, but it sucks. You know?
It does for me too. Yeah. I wasn't too concerned when they were taking it away.
Me either. So it was like I was sitting there laughing at everybody else that was like panicking about it. So
I was more concerned about CapCut going away because I use CapCut often. I was like, they took my CapCut?
That's crazy. Like, I haven't even had a chance to play with CapCut. And I see people post with it, and I was like, I wonder how this work. I just didn't get a chance to.
I'll tell you, so they have the app that you can use on your phone.
Yeah.
But they have a desktop version. I love it. I make all my content through the desktop version because it's just easier than working off your phone, actually having it on a bigger screen. And it's got all the bells and whistles, and it's like $7.99 a month. I'm not a spokesperson for get the when you if you want to get into more making short form content, which you will want to do, get you that desktop version, because trying to learn like a Premiere Pro and all that, it's like if you're not doing movies and all that or make music videos all the time, if you just want short form content, the CapCut desktop version is it.
Okay, yeah, I definitely got to get that. Yeah.
Speaking of content, and that's something too, I feel like because we are pressed to be on social media, is that something that you have on your radar, is making more content, whether it's you're here today, so this is going to be content, you're going to do the performance today, more content. So obviously that's something that's on your mind.
Yeah, because you know, you got to have it. And so it's like back to trying to reach out, touch bases, see other spots you can get interviews and stuff with, you know, just trying to make sure people see you, but you don't want it to be so repetitive on the same type of stuff to where they get to the point where it's boring. Like, you want to keep people engaged. So even if I'm pushing the same song for 6 months, I want the content to be different to where people want to look at it, you know.
That is facts.
Yeah.
And what you can do too is, I seen a social media guy that, you know, that's what he does for a living. He creates content. He said you can even recycle it. And what he meant by that is if I post something today, 6 months from now, I've gotten a ton of new followers, you can always repost it again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's going to be new to your new followers, but you don't want to post the same. I see some people who will post their album cover 800 times.
Yes.
It's going to turn people off.
Yeah.
Because then it becomes spammy. It's like, damn, I done seen this thing 357 times.
Exactly.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel like full-length music videos are as effective as they were, we'll say, you know, 5-10 years ago?
I really don't. But at the same time, it's like, because I guess like for me personally, I don't really look for music videos.
Yeah.
And it's like, even if I see, like if I see a short of the music video on social media, I still don't go look at it.
Me neither.
You know? And it's just, I guess, because mostly, I guess you run out of all the music videos start looking the same. Yeah. It's like a bunch of people just turning up in the video, holding money, you know, doing this stuff, smoking. It's the same thing.
Having a bunch of models in there.
It's not like back when Busta them was doing creative videos and stuff like that, stuff that made you feel like, oh, this is like a movie, you know. But if you got into that part of it, it goes back to the branding and, you know, having the shock value of it.
Exactly.
You know? And once people see you, they be like, oh my God, did y'all see this video to this song he did? Now it's like they look for your videos, but you got to always up it.
Absolutely. You have to outdo the last one you did. Yeah. And it comes with just having that creative mind or being okay with maybe hiring somebody to come up with the creative concept. Because that's what some people do for a living is they have that super creative mind and they'll direct your video for you because they may have some ideas that you didn't even think of.
Exactly.
But I agree with you. I just, you know, not to say don't go out there and shoot music videos, but I feel like at this point in time, you don't have to necessarily shoot a video for every song you put out. Yeah. Just do some short form content, and that can include the mic performances. That could be you in the studio just turning up to your song. Yeah. Some people are more engaged by that, and make it like 30 seconds or less. Mm-hmm. I promise you, nobody's gonna watch an Instagram clip that's 8 minutes long. Yeah. Or 4 minutes long. Maybe some people will, but for the most part, people just scroll. Mm-hmm. You want to try to capture their attention in the first couple seconds. Yeah. You know, that's where that short form content comes in. You gonna step up your game on your TikTok?
Man, I'm trying to.
Now that it's back.
I'm gonna try to, but I don't know if we're gonna keep it. If they gonna keep it,
Are you gonna dance? Are you gonna do dance videos?
Man, look. I think I got a few dance routines I done learned on TikTok.
Got a little 1-2 in there. Nah, that's dope. So what are some of the things we'll say in the next, maybe 3 to 4 months leading into summertime that we can expect to see from Doerilla?
Oh yeah, of course, more music. I'm gonna try to give y'all more content. I promise I'm gonna work on it.
We're holding you accountable.
Yeah. Pretty much that's it. Like more music, more content. Hopefully I can lock in with some, I guess like some stable people to do the content, because I don't like bouncing around a lot. You kind of want to build a relationship with who you're working with. That way they know how to film you, what, everything. It's like once you get that relationship, now you can just rock out and do what you need to do.
Absolutely. It's almost like finding you a dope engineer. It's like once they understand what you want in your sound, you don't want to stray and go to anyone else. Like, why would you? Absolutely, 100%. Anything else that you have on the horizon that we didn't talk about that we need to know about Doerilla?
Oh, I'm about to start a cooking channel. Nah, that's a joke.
Boy, I was here for it. I was like, hold on, let me find out you over there chefing.
Look, TikTok made me feel like a chef, but...
What's your favorite thing to cook? And I'm talking about for yourself. I'm not saying
myself.
Like if you're having a date night or whatever, but if you just want to whip up you a good meal, what's going to be your go-to?
Okay, so don't judge me, everybody. Look. So normally I don't cook.
Okay.
Because I suck at cooking.
You eat out?
Yeah.
Or you let your significant other do it? A little bit
Either
of both?
or, yeah. So here lately, before TikTok, they tried to end it. I've been doing this whole steak thing.
Okay.
And people always be like, steaks are easy to cook. Yeah, if you done cook them a lot, so that's what I've been doing. I've been learning to cook steaks. And that's like my go-to thing. Like steaks, I'm a potato person. So it's
Me too.
I'm over there, steaks, potato, and I only eat like certain vegetables, so it's probably broccoli majority of the time.
The green stuff? Yeah. That's me too. I'm more of a green. How do you cook your steaks? On the grill, air fryer, pan sear it, a little bit of all?
I've been doing the pan sear and the grill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One time, if you get the right temperature in the right time, try it in the air fryer. It actually comes out fairly decent.
I heard that though.
It does, because, I didn't eat meat for many, many years.
Yeah.
Probably in the last 4 months, I slowly crept my way back into eating some red meat just so I could, because, red meat's full of all your nutrients, your vitamins, your protein. And I was pan searing it for a while. And then I said, let me try throwing it in the air fryer. It actually comes out really good. You might want to take it out and put it on the pan afterwards if you like that sear on top. Yeah. Just something to try sometime. Do you have an air fryer?
Yes. I'm going to try it. Yeah, look, don't play with me.
The air fryer is my friend, boy. I be putting my potatoes in there. Yes. I can't live without it. So, Slick, it might do come soon. A little cooking channel. Cooking with dough.
Cooking with dough in the air fryer.
He's the air fryer master. Yep. That is hilarious. So we can anticipate a project coming this year.
Yes.
A listening party will be coming.
Yes.
More content.
Yes.
What is something about Doerilla, the artist, that most people don't know and they'd be surprised to know? Or just Doerilla as a man?
Man, that, the crazy thing is, a lot of these songs that I've been making have been like really in my feelings. It ain't a whole lot of my own personal things, but I have experienced a lot, like out here on the dating scene in Atlanta, and how weird these people. I say dating is so weird.
It is. Yeah. It is. That's a whole nother show right there.
So it kind of pushed me. I was like, okay, and that's the thing that's crazy. I was like, okay, I need to get more. I need to try to get some bangers, some trap. And I was like, I don't even feel that. Like that ain't resonating with me right now. Right. So it's like all I got is, since Drake out here tripping, he hard now. I guess I just go to step in there and do my feelings. So this is more like, I guess, like a more vulnerable part. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like a lot of the things I say in a lot of these songs, you can kind of be like, oh, he must experience that. They felt it. I feel like true music heads and true fans
will appreciate that vulnerability.
Yeah.
Someone who don't know you, ain't heard your music, they don't care about that. But someone who truly is in tune with you, including myself, appreciates that vulnerability coming from an artist, because at the end of the day, you're human too.
Yeah.
We all go through stuff.
Exactly.
Whether it's, like you said, relationships, or it might be business stuff, you know, spiritual stuff, financial stuff. We all go through stuff at some point in time in our life, and being able to be slightly vulnerable through your music is a great way to put it out there without putting yourself on blast per se.
Exactly.
Put it through your music, because it keeps them wondering, I wonder if he is going through that, or is he just talking about, you know, you get what I'm saying? So that's dope, man. How long does it typically take you to write a record?
Sure. It just and that's the thing, it all depends. Like if I'm in that bag, I could probably get it done in like a few hours. Like sometimes some of them you gotta be like, okay, I'm gonna come back to this because I feel like I'm forcing it. You know? And I'd be like, okay, I might sit on something for a month or two and just listen to the chorus and the beat every once in a while. Yeah. And then come back, and one day I just feel it and be like, this is the rhythm I want to go with on the verse. Yeah. Yeah. Never
force it. Yeah. For anybody who wants to work with you on any level, whether they are interested in just becoming a fan of your music, or they want to work with you to have you produce or engineer for them, etc., where's the best place for them to keep up with you?
Man, the best place is IG. Because, you know, I do Facebook, but I really don't. It's just, to be honest, it's just there.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So IG, you know, Doerilla, Doerilla 107. I do answer inboxes if it's legit, you know. Yeah. You know, every once in a while you get some BS in the DM.
Sure do. Be mindful. That's how people get their accounts hacked or scammed.
Yeah, so that's the easiest way to reach me.
Doerilla 107, and is that your YouTube as well?
Yes.
Okay, so make sure you guys keep up with him there. Who do you want to shout out to, give thanks to for supporting you through your journey?
Man, golly, look, hold on, let me get it together. First of all, like, you know, I gotta always thank you because you always there for me, Tampa. Like,
and always will be.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of those things, like the genuine friendship. Like, golly. I gotta shout out my kid, even though she being a knucklehead right now. But she know she always, Daddy, you need to do it. Why you playing? You need to drop this, you know. All my family back home, you know, the family here too, you know. And I also done gained a lot of family that's not blood. Yeah. But you know what I mean. So it's like I gotta thank all of them. Of course, you know I gotta thank God. I can't not thank God, you know, because God make it all possible for me. He put me in a position to be able to financially do the things I need to do, you know, help me to be able to come up with, you know, how the mindset to be able to do the stuff I do. So, you know, can't never, you know, move around without that. So, yeah.
And shout out to yourself for still out here getting to it and pushing through it no matter what life has thrown your way.
Yeah, you know.
That's something to be proud of.
Thank you.
100%. Last question. We're live.
Industries.
Big Industries Most Wanted. What makes Doerilla the industry's most wanted?
Man, golly, because you know what? Through all of this stuff, you know, it's like music just kind of is drifting away from what music is. And it's like we see it. And I feel like, you know, when I get to dropping these projects, I'm going to give people something that, you know, you can get back into the realness of music, and you don't have to feel like, okay, well, for me to vibe with this, I got to be super turned, or I got to be in a Hellcat, or this. It's just real life, everyday situations, you know? So that's what I'm hoping they're going to resonate with.
And they will.
Exactly.
They will. Shout out to Doerilla, man. I appreciate you being here today.
Man, thank you. It's just a blessing to be here.
It's always good to catch up with you, too. We always catch up on everything. I'm talking like business, personal, everything. And it's good to have someone that you can talk to about everything. So I appreciate you 100%. Yeah. Shout out Doerilla, man. We up out of here, y'all.
We out.
On the same thing. We be getting high, just trying to maintain. She got a man, I got a bitch. We on the same